Learning to just say no. One huge problem people who are overly stressed out have is the ability to say no when they need to. Maybe your mother wants you to take grandma to the store, but you're in the middle of a big work project. Perhaps your best friend asks if you wouldn't mind babysitting her kids when you have already made plans with yourself to get a haircut. There's no reason why you have to say yes to everyone. In fact, there are often many times when you should turn them down. If you find yourself agreeing to do things when you really don't want to, you're a people pleaser. In general, this isn't a bad trait to have, but it can be a huge stressor. People pleasers think of other people's needs before their own. They worry about what other people want, think, or need, and spend a lot of time doing things for others. They rarely do things for themselves and feel guilty when they do. It's hard being a people pleaser. People pleasers hold back from saying what they really think or from asking for what they want if they think someone will be upset with them for it. Yet they often spend time with people who don't consider their needs at all. In fact, people pleasers often feel driven to make insensitive or unhappy people feel better, even at the detriment to themselves. Constantly trying to please other people is draining, and many people pleasers feel anxious, worried, unhappy, and tired a lot of the time. They may not understand why no one does anything for them when they do so much for others, but they often won't ask for what they need. Avoid being a people pleaser. This is the trap I fell into. I found myself always agreeing to do for others, but when I needed those same people to help me out, they were curiously occupied. A people pleaser may believe that if they ask someone for help and that person agrees, that person would be giving out of obligation, not because they really wanted to. The thinking goes, if they really wanted to help, they would have offered without my asking. This line of thinking happens because people pleasers themselves feel obliged to help and do not always do things because they want to. Sadly, people pleasers have been taught that their worth depends on doing things for other people. It's painful being a people pleaser. Believe me, I know. People pleasers are not only very sensitive to other people's feelings and often take things personally, but they also rarely focus on themselves. When they do take a moment for themselves, they feel selfish, indulgent, and guilty, which is why they are often on the go, rushing to get things done. Because people pleasers accomplish so much and are easy to get along with, they are often the first to be asked to do things. They are vulnerable to being taken advantage of. People pleasers were most likely raised in homes where their needs and feelings were not valued, respected, or considered important. They were often expected as children to respond to or take care of other people's needs, or they may have been silenced, neglected, or otherwise abused, thus learning that their feelings and needs were not important. In many cultures, girls are raised to be people pleasers, to think of others' needs first, and to neglect their own. Many women have at least some degree of people pleasing in them. Men who identified with their mothers often do as well. People pleasers' focus is mostly on others and away from themselves. They often feel empty or don't know how they feel, what they think, or what they want for themselves. But it's possible to change this pattern and to feel better about yourself. Breaking out of this cycle. I managed to learn how to break out of this cycle. You can do the same thing if you see yourself in the above description. You want to know how? It's easier than you think. First, practice saying no. This is a very important word. Say it as often as you can just to hear the word come out of your mouth. Say it loud when you are alone. Practice phrases with no in them, such as, no, I can't do that, or no, I don't want to go there. Try it for simple things first, and then build your way up to harder situations. Stop saying yes all the time. Try to pause or take a breath before responding to someone's request. You may want to answer requests with, I need to think about it first, I'll get back to you, or let me check my schedule and call you back. Use any phrase that you feel comfortable with that gives you time before you automatically respond with yes. Take small breaks, even if you feel guilty. You won't always feel guilty, but most likely in the beginning you will. Remember that your mental health is well worth the aggravation you may have to take from others. What's important is you. When you are healthy, those around you will be healthy. Figure out what gives you pleasure. For example, you may like reading magazines, watching videos, going to a park, or listening to music. Give yourself permission to do those things and then enjoy them. Ask someone to help you with something. I know it's a hard one, but you can do it. After all, everyone else is asking you for favors. Why shouldn't you ask them? Just be tolerant if they turn you down. Just because you have always told them yes doesn't mean they always have to tell you yes. Check in with how you feel and what you are thinking. It's important to be aware of these things. They're part of who you are. And then try saying what you feel and think more often. Just remember to have a little decorum in certain situations. Many people pleasers believe that nobody will like them if they stop doing things for other people. If someone stops liking you because you don't do what they ask, then you're being used by them and probably don't want them as a friend anyway. People will like you for who you are and not simply for what you do. You deserve the time to yourself, to say no, and to take care of yourself without feeling guilty. It's within your reach to change, one small step at a time. I think most people would be in complete agreement when I make this next statement. McDonald's had it right. You deserve a break today.